So what did you it was it at this time that you went to do some stuff with Snoop on No Limit, or what did you what did you move on to after you did the R. Kelly stuff?
Yeah, Snoop, like I said, Snoop at No Limit, did more stuff with Raphael Sadiq, did Will Smith.
Okay, what did you do for what did you do for Will?
I did a record on it was called Could You Love Me on Will Smith's what album was that?
That was that Big Willie style of his big.
I can't remember the name of the album.
Because that came out to 97. That came out 97.
Yeah, the plaque is here on the wall, but
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, he I did Could You Love Me, and I did another record. I did 2 records on Will.
Okay.
On Will Smith. Yeah.
The what was it like working with Snoop when he's on No Limits? That whole in that environment, and how was he? You know, he's now making a little bit more money. What was it like? Did you notice a difference with Snoop when you worked with him on that No Limit album?
A big difference. You know, he was, real easy, easy to work with. You know, he had gotten his money, so he was happy. And he was the same Snoop, but just more free. But no tension. Like I seen the growth in him at the time. Like it was good to see, my brother like that, to see him happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess it was very interesting because he had the album split between Beats by the Pound doing some production, and he got you guys, Sugar Free and even Dre. So it was a very I won't say strange album, but it was a very, he had to have his No Limit sound. It had to have his West Coast sound. What did you think about the album?
Well, of course, back then, we all had, anybody that was, successful in any form kind of had their own ego. And, I was a firm believer that, the West Coast had the best sound regardless. So, I think the album was good, but it just, to me, it didn't really fit who he really was in its entirety to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked. He was able to, turn his career around and, to go on to bigger and better things. But just overall, to me, it wasn't his sound.
Yeah, it was hard.
To me.
Yeah, go ahead.
To me, he contributed to their sound, but it wasn't really his sound.
Yeah, because it was hard. Because once you're No Limit, there was an expectation that we needed to hear No Limit and that type of, southern sort of energy that they bring. But Snoop was always a very mellow sort of rapper, so he needed something that slows it down so he can use that. But he was caught in between the two.
Yeah.
At the time then when Dre went off to do Aftermath, were you still with Death Row, and was Dre then becoming an enemy when he left everything? I mean, and people couldn't understand why he would just leave $100 million business, and Suge kept saying it, and then just say, look, I'm just going to start afresh. Did that surprise you?
No, it didn't surprise me because Dre wasn't really with the nonsense. Dre wasn't really with, the extracurricular activities, people getting beat up and, gangster stuff that was going on. He wasn't really with that, And, Dre, coming off of the deal with Eyez and then walking into pretty much the same deal with more drama.
Yeah.
On top of that, that's not who Dre is, so that's why he walked away, because it was too much, too much of the bad was outweighing the good, So it was the thing to where, Dre just wanted to make music. You don't want to see nobody getting beat up for nothing, or, people fighting and, grown men fighting in the hall. Like, nah, man.
Okay.
Nah,
But then, as a producer, who got in through Quik. Quik recently mentioned that he got frustrated that he doesn't get the same recognition and accolade as Dr. Dre, even though he loves Dre as a brother and everything. But there's a sense that he doesn't get recognized for his music contribution to West Coast or even just hip hop music in general. Being part of camp with Quik, was there ever a sense of, did you guys not see Dre as well? You know, he's just on another level, or was there a sense, well, you know, production wise, we you know, we're doing almost the same type of thing?
You know, I've always, some people may think because of, you know, who I am in Quik's life, that I'm only saying this because he's my brother, but you know, fact is, just me knowing both, Quik is, you know, in my opinion, more talented than Dre. Quik plays instruments. Quik produces records from scratch. And, you know, to me, Dre just has always had a bigger machine behind him, you know, and which made him into the person that he was. And I'm not saying that Dre is not a good producer, because he definitely is one of the best. But there's elements when it comes to producing that a lot of people don't understand from the outside looking in. You know, some of us producers, like, we really do play instruments. And then there's another way of producing where you bring in other people and they come up with the ideas, and then you just capitalize on it, mix it, and put your name on it. You know, like when Dre had, like when he had Scott Storch.
Yeah.
For years, and people didn't know. You know, he had Scott Storch. Scott Storch was doing all the music, and Dre's putting his name on it. And I'm not dissing Dre again, but that's actually producing still. You know, that's another way of producing. You know, just because you can't physically play something, if you can bring it out of somebody else, or you can tell them what to play, that's still producing.
Yeah, Quincy Jones, yeah, like something like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's another example, Quincy Jones. But Quik just happens to actually really play.
Wow.
Quik rarely needs other musicians to come in and to, you know, contribute. Rarely. That's the difference. You know, so, you know, to me, personally, that makes him an overall better producer to me. You know, and, you know, that's just my opinion. You know, others may, you know, others may think differently, but that's just my opinion.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the Halftime Chat community. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. But most importantly, why don't you consider being a member? That's a way of supporting the channel, but also getting a lot of videos ahead of time, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and some exclusive content that doesn't get shared. But anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks for being part of Halftime Chat. Sweet.